G'day guys and welcome back to Jans_Gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So today's video we're going to be jumping in against the Metal Cooler Core and we're going to be bringing what I think is debatably one of the best teams on Global at the moment. So obviously you can make a few adjustments to this based on your favourite playstyle, but in terms of versatility I don't think there is a much better team that can be made at this current point. Obviously, there's going to be more easy A's, more units to drop that are going to definitely help make for I guess you could say, better team. But yeah, given what we have at the moment, this team's just absolutely busted. So you can see that we do have the that's annoying for the back end there for my Z Duo. But we do have both of the 8th anniversary units on this team, so being the newest units, that's super fun. But what it also does give us access to is multiple standbys. For the GT Duo, we're also getting access to a revive unit. So always handy to have a revive up your sleeve if anything does go wrong. You can also see we've got the physical god Goku here, so just a unit that can act as a slot 1 and dodge, but he's literally, there we go, okay, so we dodged the most important attack there, but his ability to dodge, guard, perform multiple supers while stacking his defense on those supers is so important. As you can see here, we're able to avoid the super attack there and then allow both of the Z duos to begin to stack up in slots 2 and 3 here. The same goes for if we had have had the GT duo on rotation. Not to mention the crazy offensive power that we are displaying here with the Z duo as well. So other key features of the team are the tech gods. So what we'll be using them for is a slot 3 floater on this team. So they should get one good rotation of stacking in, and then by the time they come around on the next rotation, we will be transforming them into blue. Actually, we are going to leave them on rotation in the end after all that, which is fine because they're going to have their guard. We're going to be able to build up a ton of extra defense from getting these supers off. But when we do get the rotation sorted, they will be moving into a sort of floating role where they're just going to be able to sit in slot 3, get off a ton of super attacks, hopefully get a lot of dodges off. They got that the action cancelling as well, which is super handy if that happens to fall on a super attack. Yeah, probably underrated as a slot 3 floater on this team. So as the other slot 3 unit, you can see there is the MVP 17. So he can give a lot of defense and key support, so he's crazy good for just giving that little bit of extra boost, and he provides a lot of synergy to the team. He just can be squishy, which is where it gets tough. So he's going to be pretty good in an event like this where he's going to get his type advantage early on, where he can get built up. But yeah, he definitely can get tagged. There's the dodges that I gave him. Please don't be a super after his dodge. Yeah. So, what we're going to do here is grab those into those. That drops down enough tech and enough into key switch. So, we'll go that way. It doesn't really matter. But this is allowing for the Z Duo to stack up their defense nice and high. Fortunately, there wasn't many attacks in slot 1 before we were getting hit, so the Z Duo were able to slide in there. The GT Duo unfortunately started off in slot 7, so we haven't been able to build up their damage reduction as of yet, but thankfully we did get them to 24 key, so we could potentially get the 4 super attacks off here, which would go a long way towards building up their passive and also stacking up their attack, might I add, considering we are about to go into a physical stage of the battle. Oh, I thought we were getting through unscathed here. That's alright. What's that tank? For double digits. The only issue there being that we cop the defense lowering, which will be a little bit annoying. But on the next rotation, we'll move them into slot 2. And the GT Duo will slide to slot 1 with that type advantage and damage reduction. So let's see who's going to be. I think it should be Bulma coming back around on rotation next too. So that'll be really good because we'll be able to get her support as we go into the actual Metal Cooler core part of the battle there. So God Goku again. We got his orbs, so he's going to be guarding. He's also going to get that guaranteed additional, so he's going to be able to dodge. It just gives you a bit of extra faith with him sitting in slot 3 there at the end. So once we get that one off and we move into the core. So dodge, dodge, super into dodge please. Thanking you. One of my favourite units in the game. That God Goku, he's just, yeah, busted. So now we can do this. How do we want to do this? So if we look at defenses, it's a bit tough to... Is this how we go? Do we go like this, go bang, hit that, to then hit that, to then give the support buff from that? It's a bit of a tough one, because Bulma can't attack in the back end here. And we do really need these guys to, like, if they don't, if they hadn't have dodged that, we would have been cooked. Ideally, I would have gotten the physical God Goku in rotation place on here instead of the tech gods here. But now that they've gotten their super attacks off, we're going to be fine. I'm assuming they should be fine for normals now. That initial dodge was extremely important. So we get the cancel there, and they dodge again. So perfect. Put ourselves in a pretty good position here. By getting the Z-Duo on slot 2, they're able to get off that extra attack boost. And they get the extra key spheres. The extra key per sphere. So that is going to help them always get to that 24 key mark. As long as I think it's usually like 4 key spheres is what it'll take to get them to 24 key when you get them sitting in slot 2 or 3. So the only concern here is with Bulma in the back end. So she's going to get her additional. If those were super, that would have been clutch. But yeah, you can see without her super attack popping off. That's annoying. I think we can get away with this. I think. And then we're going to get that healing from you there. It gets us back up to full HP. As long as the super attack isn't in the back end there against MVP 17, I think we should get through this fine. I think. Ooh, so that was a bit of damage. Let's see how ideally MVP 17 in the back end just dodges this, but we will just have to wait and see. The friend could go insane with the crits too and get really, really low. Get the Metal Cooler core really, really low here. Another 7.5 mil. I think this friend was sitting at 90%, so not quite the rainbow either. You can get a bit of extra oomph. No, we didn't get those extra crits anyway. So MVP 17 just has to tank one hit or dodge one hit. I think he has like 20 dodge for me here. So, the extra super here is pretty important. That does give him the extra defensive raise. So, we survive. And as you're about to see, then we can go a little bit crazy with it. We can go bang, hit you with that. We can then slide you along here, and we're going to use the standby here. It might not have been 100% necessary. We potentially, because we do have a pretty good key sphere spread here, we maybe could have just ran Godku or the tech gods in slot 1, But as I mentioned, not only is this an insanely good team, but it's a really, really fun team. So we may as well make the most of some of what's on offer here. We get that extra rainbow key spheres popping off to the side. So what we'll do is go bang, bang with that, with you, get a decent heal off. And we'll get an extra heal off of you. We're going to risk it. We're going to go for the no item here. So is this going to be this? That's just the normal there. Obviously, if that had been the super, that would have been particularly handy for us because the Vegeta there would have taken no damage. God Goku, he's going to have his guard. He will have gotten some extra supers from getting his orbs. But if he gets tagged with a super here, I'd say we did. So we dodge, we get hit. It's just double digits. So I would assume that this ensures us the win here because we did activate the active skill, so we get the full, we get the guaranteed crits here. We get the action nullification here. My gods are built full additional as well, so we should get off a third attack of some description. And it is a super sack. So there you go. That's a no item of the Metal Core stage done and dusted. We obviously did get pretty low on HP at the end there, but it just depends on what units sort of getting tagged with those attacks. Depends who's getting sealed. There's a lot of RNG to that stage, so I think the team performed really, really well there. So let me know your thoughts on the team build. I'm pretty happy with it. 11 minutes is definitely a pretty solid way to smash through this one. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.